All right, so let's take a little bit off of this one to make it match up. So we're going to do a remove, take off 1.5 millimeters in the opposite direction. And then let's measure it real quick to make sure that it lines up. So this is show measure. So that's, yeah, well, it was more than 14 because it was actually to bring it out to the face, we had to add to make it 15 and a half, remember? So we're taking up, but now it's going to be 14. But what we know about the other ribs is that we probably need to take some off of this back side of this blue one. And the reason I say that is because every one of these other ones is overhanging a little bit, right? See how that's overhanging? I would almost bet that that's what this has to be over here. So this is probably not touching this. It's like a rib that's sticking out in the space. I, as an engineer, would probably find a way to make it touch, but that's not how this drawing's probably set up. So what we probably need to do then is we're going to click on this. Really needs to be the entire rib, though. Because I don't know if it touches down here, if this one you can take off. That's going to be a weird scenario. Let's see what it looks like, though. Let's just take that part and we'll say remove and then change the direction. And it's probably going to be 2.5.
So how big was it before you removed?
What happened there? Why is it not removing it?
How big was it before you removed it?
How big what?
How big was the extrusion before you removed it?
This one up here?
No, on the bottom.
This one?
Yeah.
Well, we can look at it. I don't think this extrusion may not be liking this for some reason. Oh, well, that's not great. Let's put that back. You mean after you go ahead and merge, like bullion it? You mean? Oh, merge of all. Okay, let's try that. Let's see. Down here, merge of all. Yep. So does yours look like this, or you have a little bit of a lip here? Because I think this would be make more sense to. But I don't know how you would make this part, though. To be honest with you, you could machine it, but if this is a cast part, maybe it's cast. Maybe that's what it is. So let's go ahead and bullion all this together. Let's go ahead and do the bullion and bullion it together. So if we're talking about the 22 drill, I'm going to go back to the front plane, and I'm going to, on this right here, I'm going to put where is it at? We're going to put a sketch on it, and then we're going to put one of these little points right here in the middle. And then we're going to go to the hole command. So we're going to get out of this. We'll go to the hole command, and we'll click that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to look real quick and see what kind of size, what kind of things we have here. I see a drilled. Let's see what drilled looks like. In the drill, there's sizes. And look right here. There's a number 22, but I don't know. That looks kind of tiny. So I don't think that's it. 22. Is there another 22 somewhere? Maybe there's a 22 that's not. They're not talking about a 22 diameter. That's 37, but that says a 22 drill. They're talking about a 22 diameter drill. So that says drilled, but I don't see a 22 on there. What about tapped? Let's see if there's a straight tap, tapered pipe tap, threads per inch. Well, that means that they're putting threads in there, right? There's threads in there. That's not right. You got it on drilled. You found a 22 that looks like that. Oh yeah, you changed it. I'm just looking because in engineering, like in metalworking, like there are drills that actually have numbers on them, right? And then there's some drills that have letters, right? And the letter corresponds. So do a real quick Google search and type that in. Type on the Google like 22 drill and see what it says. Uh, if it gives you any information on it. You make a pass? Okay. Let's go. Let's just do that. Let's change it to drilled and let's change it to drill size. We'll just type it in over here for this to be 22 millimeters. And that looks more like our picture. Okay. Looks more like our picture. So not too hard. We'll go ahead and accept it. So that part's done. Now, the last thing that we have to do, there's a couple things. There's a hole down here on the bottom, right? There's this hole down here on the bottom. It's an 8 diameter hole. And it's it says it's 9.5 from this side. And, so we got to figure that out. 9.5 from the back side, so it's probably off-centered a little bit. Then we also have fillets and rounds, a radius of 2. Okay, so let's see what the fillet and rounds look like real quick. I think everything else is done except for that. So let's look at fillets and rounds.
Stuff in the back of the circles that way.
Underneath the circle?
Or like in the back, like on the back side, like it over.
Yeah, it's supposed to overhang.
Yeah. Never mind. Yeah,
okay, so let's look at doing a fillet, and it says that they are 2 millimeters on all of them. So I think right underneath there, that is, if you can see me zoom in. So like right underneath that, like I clicked that line underneath the circle. So you have to kind of look at the drawing and see. I think like this edge and that edge is underneath this circle is. I think over there is anywhere where you got a cylinder meeting the part. Now I don't know about the back edge. I'm gonna go ahead and accept this. And then I'm going to come back in and do some more. I like to break it up a little bit. I don't know. Let's see that one there. So anywhere where you think there's, I think around here was one. Yep, that one's got these little lines. Those are fillets. So that's filleted. That's filleted. That's filleted. So anywhere you see that, you got to put a fillet in. So come back in here, go back to the fillet, like that rib is filleted. That's filleted. They do that to take sharp edges off. Didn't like that one fillet there though. Some of those are too small, so probably only the front of this rib. So just kind of work your way around, making sure like the picture, if you see it where it looks like it's got a fillet on it, go ahead and put the fillet. I'll give you a few minutes to do that and get right. Last thing we got to do, went through and filleted everything we could possibly fillet. Okay, down here we're going to put this, there's a hole here. It's an 8 millimeter hole. It looks like it's telling us that it gives us one dimension from the back of that one plane back there that's 9.5 millimeters. But it looks, and how high it is, looks like it's on the middle. It just tracks all the way around. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and turn this sideways and look at this. So this thing is going to be 9. It's going to be 9N. Okay. So what I would do in this case is we are going to need to put a plane. We're going to need to put a plane over here. So we're going to offset a plane. So I'm going to rotate this. We're going to select this plane. And we're going to right click on it and use the offset plane feature. We're going to bring that plane out. And the plane needs to ride. The plane needs to ride. Right now you can see that we're almost piercing the end of this, but we're not. So the plane needs to, you see as I just came through, it needs to be right on the end of it. Okay. So it should be close to, it says it's 60. Yep. Let's do that. So that plane should be right on the edge of that part. And we'll know because if we come back here and look, we can now see that there's that plane sitting right on the end, close to the tangent. It's the number it is. I'll show it to you. Yep, there you go. All right. So now that we have that plane that's sitting there in space, and this is kind of a good view of it, I'm going to right click on it and say new sketch. And then I'm going to flatten it out. I'm going to come around this area, and then I should be able to maybe use the use command, and I see what kind of things I can pick up. I'm going to pick this up. The reason I'm picking that up is because if I find the midpoint of this line, and I just clicked that circle and it gave me those two. So in theory, what happens is I should be able to draw a line from the midpoint here over, and that will give me what I need now to locate up and down direction. It's going to be on this line. But what I do need to do is I need to make sure that I'm picking up this edge. I need to use the use command and pick this edge up. So that way this line can connect to that line.
Wait, how do you get to the midpoint?
What's that?
How do you get to the midpoint?
I just touched it because I used the use command. I touched the circle and it brought these two lines, and then I just clicked the midpoint of, because it finds between those two segments. So now I'm going to figure out a line that comes over this way. So I'm just going to draw a line here, just a little sketch line, kind of so I can use it as my crosshairs. And I'm going to hit D for dimension. I'll pick from here to the endpoint. And it said on our picture that it was supposed to be 9.5 from the back of that forward. So make that 9.5 millimeters. 9.5 millimeters. And then the hole, the circle is going to be 8. So all I'm going to do is we're going to come in and put a little point right here on the intersection. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to go get out of the sketch, come into the hole command. I'm going to pick that button right there. Now what's going to happen, you see it's coming all the way through right now, and this is something that we'll have to look at our drawing. This does not say it's a through hole, right? It does not. You guys see through hole or anywhere on this or anything about that? So if we're thinking real quick about what that pin could be, right? What that pin could be used for, do you think at least that it probably should come through at least this side of the hole? So can we agree on that? Okay, so if we agree on that, then when we make our depth, how deep the hole is going to be, because right now this actually is needs to be 8 millimeters, and we don't want it to be through all. Let's see, it's drilled.
Just change through all to up to next.
Yeah. Start from
No, under that.
under that termination.
Yeah.
Okay. Up to next. So what that did was it just stopped right there at the next end of the plane or an object. Okay, so should have a hole that kind of looks like that. Okay, so I'm just going to accept that, and then looks like everything should be done. Now the only other thing that we have to do is create a what? Yeah, you got to come down there, create a drawing. Now this is the tricky thing, right? Are we using this? No, we come up to odd shape and we say millimeter, right? Then we could do this. Do you guys remember when I showed you last time how to make it auto generate? How to make it auto generate a title block? You guys remember that? Huh? I didn't show you that?
How do you do that?
Well, I'll show you this way first. At least get the first part on there, and then on Monday I'll show you how to do the auto-generated title block. You'll probably wonder why I didn't show that way earlier, but there's a reason for everything. All right, this is a pretty big drawing, a lot of intense things, so it's going to take a little bit for it to do its magic here. Pick your part. One to 3 seems kind of small. One to 1. Let's just let's make it. Let's see what 1 to 2 is here. That's probably doable. Yeah, 1 to 2. So what we'll do is we'll have another video segment for the title block, but this is just to kind of give you an idea before we get going what we're going to do with that. But show height Monday. Then Monday I'll let you finish it, but I'll also give you remember I told you you're going to start making Christmas ornaments? So that'll be Monday, Tuesday. Okay.